Alright, let's heat it up again.
You require some addition. And rightly so.
Alright, big thing. Bitch, all our tasks for them. We're gonna go get our brain back. Last two sync personality modules.
Did you retrieve the techno... What? You did? Now, all I need to do is check my transmission databank. Mobius is always filling it up with his psychotic calls. Oh yes, there's the schematics, just like you said. How truthful.
Alright.
Yes, yes. Yes, No, I mean yes. I know how these technologies work. Of course I know. If you remember, we described them in clearly abstract, contradictory statements before. Why would we do that if we weren't certain on how to use them? Yes, so let me... a bit, huh? I'll figure it out. Yes, that's what I believe I said.
Nope.
I've got it. The cardiac regulator in the suit, the antenna for brain waves, and the sonic frequency for the vertebral nerves. I'm thinking. This is all very complicated. Let me check something. Of course. I have it. The override sequence to open the Forbidden Zone door is hidden in the schematics. Well, not hidden. It's actually right there, behind the programming equivalent of coffee stains. It's embedded in what seems to be recursive code. It's badly commented there and there. Oh, and null pointers very sloppy, Mobius. You see, using the antenna to boost the emitter's sonic frequency, and the stealth suit to bypass the Forbidden Zone lock, yes, that could work. Was that my plan? It must have been. Sometimes I truly surprise myself. The door is open, and now Mobius will get his. And that message...
Alright, so I'm gonna do a couple things before we go. So I can actually... where is it? Min task.
And you return. Looping, yes. It is... We haven't researched this, as my colleagues care... It varies. In 43% of observed cases, true lobotomites left alone will fight for dominance, or inject bodily fluid into each other's orifices. I have tried to observe... What? Stop it. You know, I don't know what it is about the biology. Perhaps there is value in what you say. I did so enjoy breathing once, long ago. If you're ready. Ooh.
That's still creepy. Still.
Purple, ooh. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Purple.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Bloop.
I leveled up there. 1 point there.
Breaking news! Oh, yes. Stop the presses! Just in from my eye monitors.
Is that Robco tech on your arm?
It is! What's your agenda bringing that in here? How dare you bring Rob Kotek in here? What are you
Uh-huh.
showing off?
Wait,
How
isn't
great
he dead?
Robert House and his big company are?
Oh, we can make Securitrons better than any robot those geniuses at Big Mountain can make, and they'll last 1,000 years.
Worry about House? Why would I do this? And him and his dirty girl. Yeah, I do. I don't want to get it. Great. Psychology. Clearly the worst of the sciences, right? Okay. But even with enhanced... Yes, thank you. Zero. Truth be told, my emotional attachment to it, it's just that they're both... What? Did I? Oh, exactly. Well, of course it does. That's the most lethal of mathematics. That's pretty cool, actually. Destroyer of num... I like your solution. The biggest zero in all the think tank. Thanks.
Alright. We got his done. So we got all left except the one that can't talk. Let's get him.
The lobotomy.
Oh, not you. You. I think, right? You don't want to kick off. Yeah. Alright. That's done. Let's actually go get the last two modules we need. And defeat that Mobius. Get our brain back. And time for dinner. And be home in time for dinner. That's what I say.
Ready, steady, fighting.
Ah, you.
Oh, my minion, sting them in the name of all that I see you. Now
You know what?
end you. You won't escape me. I see you.
I know that.
Fighting over.
Alright. Go back to this back on repair. Actually, I want to kind of go back in there, actually. I know I just went in there, but I kind of want to get these Saturnight fists so I can repair them. Better condition one. And like the last two modules. The modules.
Yes!
You do know, yeah.
Really? Well, fuck. That really puts a damper on the toaster's mood. Oh well. No use crying over spilled Armageddon. Where was I? Oh right. Soon the world will burn in nuclear fire! Again!
What's wrong with you, Toaster?
Like I said... Oh, there you...
Alright, another one. do is.
It's not like I haven't tried to get along with her. Lord knows I...
Alright. We'll go there. We'll go to the other place we need to go to for the last module. There was one right by the Forbidden Zone of all the AI modules. And then we'll be able to go to that Mobius and get our brain back. On top of ours, mobile scope over here. Plants over here.
Sneaking done. Fighting now.
We'll be fighting.
I'm just getting warmed up.
We'll fight. Yeah, I didn't
That's all.
think you told much of us, right? Explain the plot. Let's get out of here.
Do you think you can hide from me? There's nothing I like better than the smell of blood. Made in the USA.
Alright. So yes, last one to get to there. With that one, then we'll go defeat Mobius, and then once that's from out in sync, we'll turn the last two modules on. We'll be we'll do all the quests, but we'll beat the main ones. That's really what matters. In the long run, anyway. I know it's for you. Hey, blah, blah, blah.
Die for your country.
Cessation of hostilities complete.
Actually, I'll solve them before I actually go there.
Ready, steady,
I need heal up anyway.
fighting. Cessation of hostilities complete. Ready, steady, fighting.
Yeah, I got those.
Was that all?
Yep, Turbo Scorpions powering up a little bit.
Ready, steady, fighting.
They have some Snimpacks. I do have a lot of Snimpacks actually.
I see. Go, my minions.
We'll be fine.
Sting them in the name of...
Was that all?
Yep, a little bit. We've got the last personality module. It's right over here.
Sneaking done, fighting now.
There it is. What's that one ever get back? Oh, Soul's back out to 960 before we actually get to find a boss.
Go, my minion! Sting them in the name of all that is Mobius science!
Was that all?
Dang it. Level up. Alright, I won't miss a lot. Actually, I think we... Do that again, Ashley. Again. I shouldn't have back, because I kind of want to... Well, if it wasn't crippled, I wouldn't go back, but I mean, that'll really kind of hurt me in the long run. Which I kind of want.
You require some addition. Alright, listen.
I'm has been healed up. Now done. Probably I don't want to call done. At least 5 maybe. Even more. Alright. He's installed. That's number 1. So number 2.
That was a nice little cat nap.
I did that. Alright. Have we done that? Convince him. Finish. Screw you. Guys, we're going here.
Attention visitors! Combat experiment in
Sneaking done. Fighting now.
goggles and take your Rad-X now. The X-42 China Horde Scorpion is alive!
Fighting over.
Awaken my pet! Initiate your search and destroy protocol
Wait a minute.
in the name of all that is Mobius!
Time to fight.
X-42!
Why did I
Fighting over.
X...
Ah.
Oh, it looks like the target drones got activated and... Oh, how cute! They're engaging the X-42 giant robo-scorpion. Let's see the
Bye for time.
shrapnel fly.
Time to fight.
Nothing in here. Answer right away. No supplies.
That's all.
You can't avoid the deadly laser sting of Dr.
Ready?
Mobius!
Steady. Fighting.
Jump.
You can't avoid the deadly laser sting of Dr. Mobius!
Yeah, I can. I'm already doing it right now. Alright. Something like that. Press this. right there.
X-42, attack in the name of Mobius! You can't avoid the deadly laser sting of Dr. Mobius!
Actually,
Crush them with your pincers!
Do you like me?
no. Not talking to you. You can't have that.
Cessation of hostilities complete. Time to fight. Was that all?
Okay. Oh, take that thing down. No, I don't care no more. Gosh dang it. What's this? Wait, Mobius is Roboscope. I'll take that. I'll have to take care of.
Huh? Yo, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing, you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. Little hot. Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. Would you? I have all sorts of amazingly science-terrific thoughts and ideas when those chalky tablets are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end. Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I. Oh, a variety of reasons. You're something of a homily. The anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. I'm not sure, except that I'm sure there's a very good reason for it. I have very good reasons for almost everything I do. even if I forget them occasionally. Although I feel this one is especially important. Oh, well. Okay. Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take Mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose. If you're... Now, that seems to be rather... You're... Do... And...
Yeah, I'm not gonna probably kill him. He doesn't sound like... Alright. That's tossed my brain, I guess.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again? Ah! Yes, well, believe me, the opposite is equally true. Good Lord, have you bathed at all since they pulled me out of you? Well, I see sarcasm hasn't eluded you. Fine, perhaps now isn't the best time, but it's the principle of the thing. Oh, had I? What exactly will you do if I don't? Not put me back in that cranial dungeon you call your head? Heavens forbid. By all means, if the idea of spending the rest of your days as a true lobotomite appeals to you. Actually, come to think of it, you probably wouldn't mind that, would you? After the think tank extracted me from your skull, they fell to bickering amongst themselves. I'm sad to say we were quite forgotten about. Dr. Mobius saw an opportunity to gain some leverage and had me spirited away to his dome. Hardly. Dr. Mobius keeps a close optical sensor on the goings-on at the think tank. As soon as he saw the opportunity, he took it. I don't...
That's the best option, then.
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, Dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment? Well, maybe next time you hear me telling you that charging a napkin with a penknife is a bad idea.
I don't think that ever happened.
You'll listen. I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing.
Those are the
Look
penknife
at it
in
from
this
my
game.
perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell
Don't
you.
be in the game.
If you want me first, shout! That Julie Farkas. Third, you need to listen to me more than your hormonal choir and genitalian... Really? I did. Well, certainly there might be something. But still, given the tremendous, potentially life-ending... I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it? Indeed, quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it? I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share. Oh, lovely.
I'm doing checks here.
With an attitude... There go those... Right. I suppose now that we're reunited, you... Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodoc can... Right then, off we go.
Let's get medicine up. Let's get at that. Plus 75. Let's do repair. Alright, let's get out of here. Do we just walk out of here? I think I'll just walk out of here. Those are... I think I targeted the thing. Yeah, he's targeting the thing. At least. Could energy shut down, but I didn't have stuff for enough science for that. I could go bald. Easy. I'll need some lockpicking skills, I really do. I think. It's my... Nah, I kinda want...
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap? I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite.
Definitely dead.
Now, your brain. And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments. Nonsense. Confer, colleagues. Those are two words I do not recognize.
Dr. Klein, I must intersect. Please, do not harm the lobotomite.
I'm not going to harm it. I'm going to dissect it until it's dead. Why the sudden intersection, Dala?
I cannot stand a sweet breathing organism, breathing in and out to suddenly not breathe. We must keep it alive. For study. Slow study.
Yala, these vocalized pauses are unlike you. What do you care?
Klein, this lobotomite, it's a great sounding board. You respect ideology, right? This one's, well, it's got good ideas.
Silence, Dr. O. This is a think tank decision. Save your objections until after I have decided our course of action.
You know what, Klein? Stick a straw in your tank and suck yourself. Long and deep. And my name is Zero. Yeah, a big, fat zero with a slash through it.
The slash as a designator of... Why, that is brilliant. But how did you...
The lobotomite taught me that. Taught me a name is more than, that I should take pride in things like names. And you know what? Forget it, Klein. I hate you. And your theory of brain-gill beam oscillation? The Chinese had it first, you copycat.
How dare you? Brainial beam oscillation was solely my discovery. I expressly told you that and deleted all evidence to the contrary. It's 2-8. Why are you acting like this? You've never refused to commit necessary surgery before. And this lobotomite needs its surgery.
Oh, no.
A noble speech, but there is no room in my vocabulators for friend and lobotomite in the same sentence. The very concept, revolting. Perhaps you are irradiated with camaraderie radiation. We have chems for that. We can save you from your emotional addiction.
If I may, I feel as if I must be the voice of reason here. This lobotomite is much like us. Regarding even animals and pets is nothing more than avenues to promote science. There is good here. Instead of ending its life on the table, we should prolong its suffering in the name of science. Like good old Gabe, the finest of lab specimens.
Why am I even listening to you fools? Enough of this mutinous chorus. If there's a word I hate, it's mutiny. And the word jism, which never made any sense to me. It's ridiculous putting j and z together like that. Nonsense! I count as 5. Like the mighty human hand I once had, with its 5 penises clenched in a fist. Nonsense! The mathematics of this situation are on our side, lobotomite. I believe... No, wait. Carry the 2, then... If this were a democracy, I would be concerned. We are too scientific for that. So just surrender. You dare use logic against me? That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm. For you, I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
Well, that was it. We beat this.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magnetohydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic, dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 continued to scan for the subject and the stealth suit prototype long after the test was over. Frustrated and unable to find its lost technology, X-13 expanded its network of laser tripwires, sensors, and robo-brains out across Big Mountain. This glittering blue light beam forest cleanly bisected anything that entered its depths, slicing them into small segmented parts for easy disposal.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World Blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Alright, everybody. We did it. Next time we're gonna play okay then. Another DLC. Hope you guys enjoyed and see you guys next time.